Hey, what is up, everybody? Let's see if I'm in here. If you guys can hear me, just kind of respond to the chat. Let me know that you guys are in here. Anyone? I don't see any eyes. Okay, see a few people. Just, yeah, if you are here, just send me a shout saying hello so I know. Anyone? There you go. Hey, what's up? No, not you, Cortana. Not you. Alright, cool. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Mike Thompson. I am an illustrator who uses ZBrush for my work. And let me get back into showing you what I do today and working on our Captain Marvel zombie sculpt. Alright, so let's just pull over the Pure Ref. My Pure Ref here. If you guys don't know, this is a great app. It's free. Pure Ref. And you can put all of your images on here. So what I did is I have gone to my Pinterest page. I have that on the other screen because there's some stuff on here that may not necessarily be kid-friendly, but I'm just pulling images from my Pinterest onto my board, sizing it, placing it, just going through and grabbing some faces now. This is pretty dope. Just putting these on here so I can get started. So I am, if you've been here for the last few streams, you know I'm working on my Captain Marvel, right? So this is what I got for her so far. Hey, what's going on? It's what I have for her so far. So it's a good base, but there's obviously some anatomy things that I got to address. Hands are just blocked in, and you know, got to fix the clothes, got to add the clothes, and I'll be doing that today. Also, this blob on the bottom of her is going to be an explosion. Right now, it's kind of just blocked in, right? So not good yet, but it will be. All right. So if anybody has any questions about anything, please give me a shout on the chat, and I'll be happy to answer. All right, let me see if I can make this any bigger. A little bigger. Alrighty then. All right, so let me move the Pure Ref. All right, kind of shrink it down. Let's get rid of that one. Okay, so one of the things that I've done is, do I have the sketch on here? I don't have the sketch on here. I am going to, I'm working on some proprietary stuff for some other clients, so I have to open Photoshop, and it has the light box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my face and show you some books while I'm opening that, just so I don't get in trouble. Let's see, transform. Let's set this to fit to screen. Okay, so that's Big Me. And some of the books that I'm using for reference is I have some stuff I got from Amazon. This one's really good. It's a Buddy Scalia book, and he has photos of people that are doing like superhero kind of poses, which is dope. Right, so that's that. Have a little women's strength training anatomy. Right, this is amazing because it has the different poses with kind of cross sections of the muscles, and it's people in actual poses, right, doing actual strength training, so you get to see how the muscles will, contract and kind of deform, which is is amazing. Also, do me a favor, let me know if the, okay, it's loud. That's what I was going to ask you. Turn this down. Turn this way down. All right, is that better? Let me know, because I want you guys to be able to hear me. Please let me know. That's great. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Another book. Right. Better or perfect? Let me know. All right. This book is amazing. Anatomy for Artists. Okay. These are all things that you can get on Amazon. I did. And they're photos of bodies in motion. Really, really good stuff. Right. So these are the key kind of things from my collection, in addition to my prize. Oh, Jesus. Oops. My prize piece here. These come off. No worries. They have magnets. But this is my Anatomy Tools reference, which is amazing, right? This is the best purchase that I think I've bought as a sculptor, right? To be able to see this in 3D is the bomb. Okay. Got a lot of crap on my desk, so let me move that out of the way. All right, so now while you can see me, do I have any social media? I do. I'm at Mike T Artworks for everything, okay? If you look at my border, which I will, it's covered now, I'll move that in a second, but it has everything. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that. All right, but let me just open Photoshop real quick, you guys. I want to, let's see, open. Just give me a second. Clients. Just give me a second, you guys. All right, let's see. And I apologize for the really, really big head that you're seeing right now. All right, cool. All right, so that's open. Let me move this over to the side. And now I can get rid of big head mode. Transform, paste. All right, cool, I'm back. Okay, so I'm going to be using this for reference. This is a piece I did for the Fox movie Age of Apocalypse, right? And as you can see, I painted a lot of guys, and you can see Storm up there. So the reason I'm opening this, you might ask, is I'm in here sculpting every week. You guys don't really get to see my illustrations, so I thought that it would be helpful if I showed you the end product of what I do, right? So this is something where for a few of these I didn't have the poses exactly right. So what I did was I would pose a character in ZBrush, just a blank, and kind of light it to get good reference, and then I go in and I paint using the materials that the studio gives me. I got to see costume designs, and there's some really cool like hard surface stuff on some of these guys, like Magneto's suit and Archangel's suit is pretty dope, right? I'm going to be using some of these cues in my Captain Marvel, so that's why it's open. All right, what's up, Hiram? Let's see. Yeah, I'm streaming again. I am back in the spot. I'm not in the spot. I'm in a spot. I'm in a crappy apartment, but that's a whole other thing that I'm not gonna bum you guys out with. All right, so I opened that because I got some really good set photos from the client. All right, so let's see if I can open these. Yeah, really good set photos. All right, so I'm going to be using some of these for reference for Storm's hair. Not Storm, sorry, Captain Marvel. I really love the way that they made this Storm look. So this is an example of when I get a really good brief, right? I'll get some good photos, and what I can do now is I can take some snapshots of this, and I can use it for my reference, right, for my pure ref. So just want to see a couple of these. This is going to help me figure out how I do her mohawk and maybe some of the hard surface stuff from her suit. It's not the highest ref, but you know what? There's some good stuff here. Right, so I'm just taking some screenshots of this. Now I'll hide Photoshop, get out of there. Hello, Guava Museum. Whole museum dedicated to guavas, y'all. Hannibal, what's up, man? No, that's not online reference. That's stuff that the studio sent me for the poster. So I have a whole bunch of stuff, and the movie's been out long enough that all that NDA stuff should have dropped off by now. I hope. This light is like right in my eyes. Let me see if I can get this a little bit out of my eyes. Still, can you see me? Yes. Okay. All right, cool. So go back to my pure ref. Let's hide ZBrush for a sec. You guys excited for 2019? This is something I did for 2018. 2019 is going to be the bomb, you guys. Just letting you know. If you're not ready already, you better get ready, son. Let's be off the chain. All right, let's put that there and there. All right, and I have some faces over here, which is nice to help me out. Got some zombie faces. I'm going to be doing a little zombifying today. One thing I did while you were not here was let me get this light off of her a little bit. She's lit the way my eyes are. Let's move this over here. Change this material to the basic. Okay, not quite as bright. And what I can do, nice, thank you. What I can do now is turn on transparent, and what you'll see is, oh, what's that, y'all? I put some skeletal pieces in there. The backbone's a little whacked because I had to do a whole lot of bending with the move tool and the snake hook, so it's kind of wonky, but it's okay because you're not going to see all that, right? The other thing I wanted to show you, pay full price. I think, Hannibal, it's another one of those deals where if you own it, you get it. Get the upgrade. And if you don't, you can get the monthly subscription. All right, load. Open, not load. Wait, cancel. File open, not close. This light is right in my eyes. Okay, Captain Marvel. I think I have one here where, crap, that's not it. Is this it? That's not it. Where is it? I bet you it's somewhere on my desktop. But hold on one second. I'll just open it up here and drag it over. All right, that's what I want, right? So hide this. Make this a little bit bigger. Move it over. Now what this is I went through and kind of detailed what I want to do to her. All right, terrible things. I'm gonna do terrible things to her because she's a zombie. But so I just sketched over my render, and we're gonna be doing some of that today. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this thing. All right, I'm gonna save the mucking her up until the end. So I just wanted to show you that I put some bones in there for now. All right, which system required to use ZBrush? Anything with a little bit of memory is going to do you fine. Right? It's you don't have to have a ridiculous machine to run ZBrush, which is fantastic. So if you have a pretty good PC, it's really good. You can get in there and do some things. I know guys that do stuff on their laptop and it's pretty amazing. All right, so today I think I'm going to start off with figuring out her hair a little bit more. Right, so let's just jump over to that, solo this out. Okay, and you can see when I started this, I was using this image as the reference of kind of what I wanted to do. This one and this one right here. Right. I don't like this reminds me of boar's hair for some reason. I really don't like that, so I'm not going to go with that look. I like the wispy, even if it doesn't make sense in space. I like the way that hair looks. So let's get it on. Get my trusty pin here, and I am on a 32-inch Cintiq Pro, if anybody wants to know. And I'm getting a stand for it Friday. So when I get that, I'm going to be doing a full review of the Cintiq and the stand. It's a beast. It's really nice. NPR filters. I'm super excited. Super excited. Can't wait. It's going to be, everything about that is amazing. And I'm in the camp where they've added so many cool things, but you know, the thing that I'm looking forward to, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is folders. So that's it's just what it is, man. We've been waiting a long time for folders, and they're coming, you guys. All right, so I'm just going to clone this hair onto another subtool and make a copy of it, because not a copy, a duplicate in my layer stack, because what I want to do is I think I want to merge the hair together. But before I do, right now the way I have this set up is they're all little poly groups. All right, so I can hide stuff and go in and sculpt on it. There's some areas that are a little thin here. I'm just going to inflate. I'm just using my inflate tool. And then smooth. Right, and it's okay if this stuff gets a little wild, because I'm just using snake hook because I want to get a nice kind of point here. We're gonna change this, so it's okay. Just inflating and smoothing to make it a little better. All right, and now let's see. When does it release? Soon, very soon. I believe the next week or so you'll have it. Non-photo real, I think. The hair? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make it photo real. It's gonna be, because I'm probably gonna print this. So I like having, you know, I like having it stylized. And with hair, one of the things I love to see is just hits of hard surface areas. So I'm just using the H polish and smoothing it. Just working my way around, trying to get a form that I really like, or somewhat like. I don't have to love it. Okay, so that's that. Let's use this one. Okay, I have a brush that I made that kind of gives me some decent forms like this. So just go in and hit that. And I mean, basically it's just kind of pinching it. All right, so that's that. Let me know if that music volume is okay with you guys. I want you to be able to hear me. The music is just supposed to be like some ambient background stuff. All right, so now I'm gonna go to Deformation and do a little bit of an inflate to see what it looks like here. I just want to give some volume to this thing. which is cool. You can hear me clearly. Excellent, excellent. Can't even hear the music. Ah, no. Can't hear it at all? I want you to hear the music. How's that? Let me know how that is, Professor Bum. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. I was a student of Professor Bum back in my college days. Learned a lot under that man. His tutelage. Is that better, man? Perfect. Excellent. All right. So let's see what this looks like with the rest. I'm gonna mask this and turn on the other pieces. Just take a look and just kind of inflate it so it fits in with the other strands of hair the way that I want it to. And these all kind of started as hair tubes. There's a brush that I have that all it does is it just makes insert tubes, but it has one of the ends pinched. And I got that off of Gumroad. It was like a free brush. So that's pretty sweet. Alright, so now I want to just move this around a little bit. And this is one of those things where you kind of just eyeball it until it kind of works out. All right. How long have I been sculpting in ZBrush? I have been using ZBrush for about 6 years now. I am, just to let you know, I'm a professional illustrator. I do stuff for Marvel and Hasbro and like movie stuff, and that's kind of what pays the bills. And I got into ZBrush because I needed reference. I needed good reference. A lot of times clients don't give you, stuff that you can really take advantage of, and so I needed tools to help me light my images and then paint them. So if you go to my, I don't like this end at all. It's really bugging me right here, and I think it's just a topology thing that it's so pointy. So I'm going to inflate this, and I'm going to retopo this one piece because this is bugging me. Just a little too pointy, you guys. Just inflate and smooth, and then I'm going to take this piece and retopo it. I wonder if I can do a retopo while the other stuff is hidden. I don't think so. But let's try it. See the polymesh and geometry, remesher, same. Can I do it? Let's see. Oh yeah, check it out. Okay. Alright, cool. And it didn't affect the other pieces. So that's fine. Alright. So now, let's see, are you painting this week? Yeah. I am working on some stuff for Hasbro. This year is the year of Hasbro. My friend who used to do work at Marvel went to Hasbro, and he put me on. So it's nice building relationships, because I haven't done anything for them since I was working on Rise of Cobra for G.I. Joe, and that was like 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. Toy money is good, y'all. Alright, so at this point I like what's going on. I think what I'm going to do now is I am going to go back to my subtools Right, that's what it was before. I don't need this one, so I'm going to move this. I'm going to delete this one, actually. Yes. I'm going to duplicate this one. And I want to, let's see, I want to Dynamesh this together. So let's turn up the resolution a little bit. Let's turn on solos on already. Let's turn on project and Dynamesh. Let's see what this looks like. And this is how I did the bishop hair. I don't know if you guys saw my bishop, but it's kind of how I did it. I'm getting some artifacting there, which I don't like, so let's try doing that with the resolution higher. And maybe turn on polish, and let's see what this does. Is it Dynameshed? Ooh, much better. Okay, that's much better. All right, cool. So now what I can do is I can take this. Hello. Let's go through and see what I missed. Any tips for someone learning to sculpt? YouTube. Everything YouTube. I had to replace a windshield wiper arm on my Volvo. It's an old one, so don't get tricked like I'm got it like that. But I had to replace the arm, and I went on YouTube and I saw how to do it, and I fixed it. And that's how I learned how to sculpt. Ta-da! And books. Let's see. Pixelogic site. Yeah, the Pixelogic site has fantastic stuff. Go to ZBrush Classroom, and that has a lot of stuff for you too. All right. Thanks. Delivery. I have a delivery. Okay. So let's duplicate this one. Right. I don't even have to project on this. It's pretty sweet. Now I'm going to remesh this to bring down the geometry a little bit. It's actually 376 polys. That's not bad, but I want some good geo. So let's try half, and let's turn up the adaptive size, turn up the curve side. I don't know if you guys can see that or if it's covered with my picture. Probably is, but now I'm just doing a Z remesh. Yes, I actually went to college for art and design, and I've been pretty much professionally creating art since 2000, since 98. Really? A long time. I'm an old dude. Hair is magnificent. Hey, you are too kind, my friend. I'm practicing every day, you guys. Practicing every day. Trying to get better. Get my 10,000 hours. Okay, so that's good, actually, right? So now we can just project back the detail that we lost. Let's go back to our subtools. Go down to project. It's probably covered with my picture. Let me move it up. Change this distance to 0.2. Okay. Let's turn that blur off and project. And yes. Okay. So it's pretty good, right? Not too shabby. And that's only 160 polys. So now what we can do is divide it and project again. See if I can get a little more detail. Okay, not bad. All right, so now I can go in and just kind of build up areas and smooth down areas and make this feel like it's a coherent thought. Let's go to my storm. It's pretty low res, but it's not bad. I'm just going to use the Claybuildup and using the Alt to push in and the regular method to pull it out. Just go in and try to just get some texture a little bit. these pieces up here. I don't want it to look too realistic, right? But I do want to have a little bit of hair strands going on, make it feel a little less like I don't know, this thing, whatever this is. Killing it with the metaphors, you guys. Let's move that over. And again, just building up in some places, pushing in other places with a large brush. This is going to look more believable. Believe me. Alright, let's put this over here. So this is the fun part. Like once you get the the base done, and you can get in and start noodling away at the details. Like that's my favorite part. Right. So I still have areas on her body, anatomy-wise, that need to be addressed. I don't love the mass on her arms right now. I think they're a little thin. So I need to address that. And obviously I haven't even touched the hands yet. I gotta get in them hands today. Let's see. Hello, my good friend, Samurai of Art. Right. I like the /ZBrush also, right? I like to use that with my lazy mouse, set it about 30. And then I can go in and get some nice little cuts. It's all about them cuts, y'all. And if you hold down the Alt U, instead of digging in, it's pulling out, so you can get some nice edges. I don't like that very much. This is a whole lot of back and forth until you find something that doesn't offend. And again, grab that hard surface, the H polish, and get that going as well. Claybuildup. Actually, I want to use some lazy mouse with this as well. It'll help. And move my light. The light's in a weird place right now, and it's giving me... It's actually... Let me change the color of this. Do something here. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to go in and clear out my color and material information. So if I go back to my basic and I choose a color, it should do it, but you know what? I don't have the little eyeball checked. Yeah, I do. Why are they doing that? Oh, turn off the eyeball. Why am I not getting color? That's not good. Let me see something. Nice workflow for sculpting clothes and accessories. You came to the right place. I'm going to show you. You can use Marvelous if you want to. I like to sculpt the clothes right in ZBrush. Let's see. Load. Let me show you something. Mic tools. Mic sculpts. What do I have that has clothes on it? ZBrush and date modified. Okay. June. I think this is. It's not a good one. Where's the? Is this the new one? All right, let's see. Right. Nope, this is not the new one. Sorry. This is the newer one. All right. So if I open this. Turn off solo, turn off color. This is not even the most recent one. This is weird. Okay, I have stuff everywhere. My friend Brad would be laughing at me. But this is kind of how I start. So the skirt was made in Marvelous just because it's got some really kind of intricate wrinkles in it. Everything else, and the cape as well, right? But I didn't use this cape. I used a different one. But I did go in and this is the one I want, sorry. I did go in and sculpt the dress and the boots and all that, right? So if we go here and zoom out, you can see like the detail on the gloves. Get out of the way, Pure Ref. The detail on the gloves, that's all hand sculpted. None of that is Marvelous, right? This is all hand sculpted, fingers. I'll be doing that with Captain Marvel today, right? So if we come over here and look at her glove, you can see all hand sculpted, right? So that's what I like to do. I really enjoy sculpting fabric. Right, so that's that. Back to the hair. Captain Duck, that is correct. That is her. That's her birth name, Captain Duck. Let's see, get this out of the way. The only thing about Pure Ref is it stays on top and it is always in the wrong place for me. It's always covering up something vital that I need, so I'm going to move that. And just take a look. Yeah. Let me fill this color. Fill. Why is it? I'm going to do that. Now see what I just did? I wanted to release the mask. I thought something was masked, but what I actually did is I just did another Dynamesh by mistake, right? So make sure when you're happy with your Dynamesh and use ZBrush, you turn it off. Okay, and I can see that that's actually good. Go back to my basic and now I can just start sculpting again. Managed to avoid the panty view. I did that. You see that? That was some ninja stuff right there, you guys. What do you think this is? It's a family show, y'all. Alright. Okay. And just going in and making some little cuts and stuff that I can sculpt on top of. Not cuts, but digging in certain places. I have to remember when I don't use Alt, it raises it, and when I do use Alt, it cuts in. So you can get some nice kind of hard surface looks. When I smooth it. Alright, so let's back up and take a look. Now, the whole reason that I did this was so I could come in here and start to do something with this hair back here. And you can see the geo is still low, so I'm getting some not super clean stuff, but that's okay. I'm more concerned with the forms right now than anything else. I don't really worry about, you know, the detailing until it's really done. Alright, so it looks like I have some weird geo going on back here, and that's just from the way that this thing Z-remeshed. necessarily like that. So what I'll probably do is fill in those areas and do another Dynamesh and then ZRemesh again. But it's always good to smooth out these parts and take a look at what you got going on. Sometimes you get some really weird artifacting. Music still playing? Yeah, cool. Alright. Cool. Let's go over to, get out of here. Let's go over to Claybuildup. Ooh. Alright, also make sure you don't have your color or material turned on when you're sculpting, or else it will cause trouble. There will be trouble. I just want to even these pieces out a little bit. And then I can fix it. Now this is actually, what happened here? Let me see something. Do I have levels of lower? What am I at? 159. Okay, I must have subdivided this by mistake. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to delete higher because I don't want to be at 600 polys. Makes it harder to sculpt that way. It's easier to sculpt when it's low polys. Easier to detail when you get high poly. Alright, so if you guys have any questions about anything, just ask me. I'm gonna be over here sculpting stuff. I need some plane changes. This is boring. And this is one of those things when you're doing hair that you just kind of find things as you go. So this is not stuff that I intentionally would say, oh, I want the strands of hair to break a certain way. I'm not that good, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where as you sculpt, you're, you know, much like painting, you'll just see something that you like and you work it up, and then areas that you don't like, you kind of minimize those until you get something that's decent. Alright, this part up here is a mess, but I'm going to clean that up. Don't get so invested in your stuff that you can't, you know, kind of just trash it too. Sometimes it's, I'm working on a painting right now that is for a client, and I spent the weekend really detailing this one profile of a face based off of a line drawing I was provided. And it's one of those things where the line drawing is awesome, but there's parts of it that the proportions probably could be just kind of nudged a little bit to make it better. And so now I'm finding that I should have done that beforehand, and I'm probably going to have to, you know, kill about 15 hours of work to get it right. But you got to do that sometimes. I guess what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to throw out your babies with bathwater. I think that's how the saying goes. I think that's right. Alright, so I'm starting to see some stuff that I dig, some parts that I don't necessarily like. And it doesn't really make sense to start using that, you know, getting into the dam standard for the finer details until after I really get the forms the way I want. So you're going to see me stay away from that. I'm really just kind of using the, you know, my trails brush and the slash and smooth and the clay buildup to get what I want, you know. Clay buildup really is gonna get me where I need to go for this early. Shout out to Miss Leonard for hooking me up with the care package, by the way. I just got some West Coast cookies sent to me by a friend, actually a friend of mine's wife. He knows about it, so don't be trying to start trouble, you guys. And all I want to do is just kind of make this feel like it's one, even though they're separate parts of her hair, obviously, that it's, you know, clumps of hair and not necessarily just these forms. To look better when I take it back to the model. In fact, I can probably just take it back over now that it's one thing. I think I'm going to do a Z remesh one more time to try to fix that issue right here that I don't like. Alright, so let's do this. What I want to do now, because I don't like the way that that topology kind of pinches here, I'm going to smooth it out to see what I have. And I see what's happening. Okay. Alright, so what I can do now is I can switch to my Sculptress brush. The Sculptress brush. Coffee. Sculptress Plus. Shouldn't throw them babies, fam. Yeah, well, sometimes they be filling up the bathwater. You gotta clear it out. Get attached to okay. Alright, I'll show you in a second what ZBrush does. First, I'm going to switch to, let's see, I'll keep my clay buildup, right? If I turn on my geometry, you can see what's happening here. I have some points that are connected and they're not supposed to be like that. I have holes, right? That's not good. So I can do one of two things. One thing I can do is I can switch to my lasso tool. Okay. Say okay. And I can go and select this area. Right, and look at it. Now, that's way more than I want. Let's get rid of that. Okay, this is the problem area. It's doing this bridge thing with these pieces. And I don't like that. So what I can do is I can go and I could try to delete that and close the holes. Right? So I don't think that's going to give me the optimal type of a result that I want, but I'm just going to show you what happens if I do that. I think it's going to try to figure out the space between the two open areas, and it's going to be a mess, right? But let's try it anyway. I'll show you. So make a copy of this. I'm going to drop my stylus. Hold on a second. All right, I'm going to make a copy of this one, or duplicate rather. Okay. Now I remember the other geometry is hidden. That's the piece I don't want. I'm going to delete that, delete hidden. Okay, and then I'll close holes, and you'll see what happens. All right, so it bridges it, but if I smooth this, it's not bad. I mean, it's not terrible. So we can do that. That'll probably be a little cleaner for me to go in now with the Sculptures Plus mode, right? And you pay attention to the geometry now, right? Now I have it in Sculptures Plus, so if I kind of sculpt, it doesn't pay it's tessellating as it is sculpting. So the larger my brush is, the larger the tessellation is, and it doesn't kind of respect the quads anymore. And the good thing about that is you can go in and really just, it's like drawing now, right? You can sculpt whatever you want. The geometry doesn't matter at all. This is fantastic for doing hair, actually, right? So I can go in now and I can just fill in these areas like this, and it doesn't care whether I have the quads to back it up. I can add much higher resolution details on a low res mesh. Doesn't matter, right? So if I turn this off now, it just looks like detail, right? So I can go in and detail the crap out of this, whereas I couldn't before because I didn't have the geometry to support it. Now I can. So I use this a lot when it comes to the actual finessing the strands of hair. You can get some really nice detail with low resolution, and then if you want, you can Z-remesh it to get your quads back and then make UVs. Or if you don't care about that, if you just want to do a print, you can leave it as it is, or even do a go to your Z plugin and do a decimation to make it even lower, right? So kind of like that. I'm going to go in now and just look for some other areas to fill in, right? Just areas that would generally be a pain because of the way that these hair strands tie together. All right, let's see if there's any questions about that. Wait, it's out already? That's crazy. That's crazy, yo. Might be. I don't know. I've been out of it lately. Oh boy, don't get me started. Living the single life again, you guys, after 20 plus years of marriage. It's not nice. Now you see how I can go in and really get some nice kind of detailing now? If I turn off Sculptures Plus and I go and try to do that, see what it's doing? I can't do anything, I can't detail beyond the geometry that's actually there, right? See the difference? And that's actually how I created this Venom. This Venom started off as a polysphere. Just a single polysphere. All the little pieces of spit and everything that are shooting off his tongue, that's all drawn out, and just if you smooth it enough, it deletes areas, and then you can go in and sculpt in other areas. So this just was one single piece. I don't use this nearly enough. I forget. It's funny. I kind of rediscover how much I like it every time I use it. All right. So that is that. Hey, thanks you guys. No worries. No worries. That's what it is. Two hours ago. What time is it? 1 o'clock. I've been on for an hour, you guys. Alright, so now let's turn off the Sculptress Plus and I'll show you what, you see how aliased it looks when I use the /3, right? If I turn on the Sculptress Plus mode and I do it, it's much cleaner. So that's nice. Being that I'm going to Z-remesh this whole thing anyway, it doesn't matter what I do to the mesh at this point. Alright, so one thing that's a kind of a thing you have to look out for when you're doing hair is these undercuts, like these areas where there's like a deep cut can be problematic when you try to Z-remesh. So I always like to go in and try to make it so they're not quite so pronounced. And then that way you don't have weird kind of folds and things of that nature later on. Those lines with the regular clay buildup. Yeah, it's kind of a few different methods. So I'll use the regular clay buildup and smooth. I'll use the /3, you know, to kind of get a little more pronounced areas. Turn off the RGB. Don't do that. What else? I have a brush that I call Happy Trails that does this type of a thing where it pinches and either raises or cuts in. That's nice to get kind of some hard surfacey kind of folds. And lastly, I use the H polish to actually get some nice plane changes. So it's a whole bunch of different stuff. And the one thing I've noticed with hair, for me anyway, is that if I'm patient, I can get something I like. It's very easy to be impatient and just see a blob of, you know, just a mess, and want to throw it out. You know, when I was doing Bishop's hair, I can't even tell you how many hours I spent on it. But when I was done, he had that soul glow, you guys. Alright, so starting to look a little more like hair. Let's get in the back here and mess around this. The neighbors, I had to dime them out, man. I had to drop the dime on them. They were going bananas, and I had to call the rental office and be like, "Yo, I'm streaming. You have to calm these people down." Another thing you got to be careful for when you are careful of, rather, when you're sculpting, is when you're doing these thin areas. If you don't turn on back face masking, if I sculpt on this side, it's going to pull from the other side. So I don't want that, right? So if I turn on back face mask, I have mine kind of hot linked to my UI because I use it so much. It's somewhere in here, I don't know where. I've been using my custom UI for so long that I can't remember, but it's very good to have that turned on if you're working on thin areas of Geo. Alright, so let's see. Gotta go. Hey, thanks, man. Captain Marvel. Yes, this is Captain Marvel. As far as the Happy Trails brush, I'm making a brush pack that I'm going to put out soon. I have people that have asked me about it in the past. and actually want to buy it, it's only gonna be like $5. But I have a lot of cloth brushes, VDM stuff, stuff for stitches and seams. So I'll be putting that out. I just haven't been in a great frame of mind lately, so I'm kind of behind on everything. But I promise I will do that. So the other thing that's pretty dope about the Sculptress Plus, what I'm doing, by the way, you guys, is I like having the stylized look, and I'll come back to that, right? But in the meantime, what I'm trying to do is get away from these soft serve ice cream scoop areas. Like, I don't like that. I don't want it to look like, you know, Mr. Softy Head. So it's just a lot of back and forth. But I don't know. I was starting to say something. I forgot what I was talking about. Sorry. Yeah, so about the neighbors, they chilled out because they were put on blast there. I don't care. I'll drop dime. I don't care, man. Pay money to live here. So much brushes, yes, a lot of brushes. Damn standard is great. I get into the damn standard when I am happy with all my forms, right? That's going to be a while, but I definitely use the damn standard brush when I am doing hair. That and the /3. So you can see I'm getting much better results by using the am I still even using the Sculptress? Let's see something. Why is that grayed out? Oh, I'm not even using Sculptress Plus for some reason. Thought I was. Alright, well, I'm just going and doing my thing. And what you don't see me doing is just clicking on the Option key, Alt on a PC, and that switches from the additive to subtractive with the Claybuildup. So I can dig in and then push up areas until I get some stuff that I like. Alright, I want to make sure that these still look like hair clumps, but just not ice cream scoops. And it's interesting because the way that I'm doing this hair is the same way that I do fabric folds. I just smooth it out a little more at the end on the fabric. I did that for her sash. Yeah, I do. I like it a lot. I haven't been able to. I mean, I'm excited about all the new features that are coming out. I can't wait to play with everything. So I'm not really a comic book artist, so some of those features, those filters are, I'll play with them, but I don't really see them. I don't see them being used for my type of illustration style. But I mean, they really look cool. Like, they're way nicer than the old sets of filters. things I'm most excited about, I think, are the new UVs. What's it called? The UV thing? The room to do UVs. That looks dope. UVs are kind of the bane of my existence, but I need to be able to use them if I'm going to go into Substance and, you know, work on Carnage or whatever, you know. I need to be able to get my UV game down, and I like the idea, being that I'm not a traditional 3D guy, I like the idea of being able to do everything in ZBrush, you know. Like when Z Modeler came out, that was my jam. You know, it kept me in ZBrush. I didn't have to switch to Maya, which I don't really know that well, or Blender, which I don't know at all. Anything that cuts down on my time in the workflow is perfect for me. So there's going to be people that are like, oh, well, you know, Topo Gun is better or whatever for UVs. But for me, I just need something that is quick and dirty, that does a good enough job that I can push it out to the next application and, you know, use it for either work or a 3D print. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to folders, like I said earlier, of course. Been waiting for that for a long time. And then the other stuff I'll really get into, you know what I mean? Like, there's still features from 2018 that I think are super helpful that I haven't even touched yet, you know. The deformation stuff using the gizmo, you know, that's super powerful, but I haven't wrapped my head around the cones yet, so I don't use it as much as I should. The alpha features in the new ZBrush are really cool too. I'm looking forward to playing with those. Yes, UV Unpeel, that is it. Yeah, the new Z Remesher looks very cool. I am amped to try that, like, big time. I want to see how it deals with organic forms. I've seen that it's the bomb when it comes to hard surface stuff. Like, it's a game changer with hard surface. I want to see if it is also that revolutionary when it comes to organic stuff, because I'm not really a hard surface guy. But yeah, there's a lot of really awesome stuff coming, you guys. So, I just want to get this to a point where I can do a remesh and take it into the model. I know people are tuning in like, what the heck is he working on? What is that? This is her hair. Just trying to get some nice forms. So that's a little better than it was before, and it's enough for me to do what I want to do. All right, so let's take this now. Actually, this part right here I didn't even touch. Let's see, currently doing Alita. Hold on a second. I missed a lot. missed a lot. All right. Yes, exactly. Cleaner is better. Top gun is old and slow. All right. Well, that shows you how much I know. UV thing is delayed. Yeah. It'll be out eventually. I talked to Pixelogic, so I gotta be careful because it's like Fight Club. I don't know what I can talk about or not. Not a big change in organic. The ones I showed were organic, didn't have big changes. I may or may not know what you're talking about. Currently doing a leader for private commission. Yeah, absolutely. DM me. You can see up around the edge or the bottom is my Facebook and Twitter and all that. And my email's also Mike@MikeTArtworks. Just hit me up. Let me see what you got. Give me a point to let us know. The day. No, the UV unpeel is going to be dope when it comes. Hard surface. Do I always have lazy mount? No, I don't always have it on. I do like to use it when I'm doing things like hair and fabric. Current song. What do we got going? Everything I'm playing, by the way, is artist on Twitter and YouTube by the name of Bad Snacks. She is dope. So if there's anything that you like, you can follow her, and she's just really great. All right, let me see what the name of the song is. Does it tell me? Where's VLC? Okay, this song. Atmosphere. All right. Enjoy. Yeah, she's off the rails. I like her a lot. So if anyone knows her, tell her I'm a fan. Big fan right here. Oh man, I had Chuck D follow me yesterday on Twitter. I did something for Chuck D a long time ago, but he's a busy guy, so I was super excited to see he followed me on Twitter. Public Enemy for all you kids out there who have no idea who I'm talking about. Back in my day, they were the shills. Cool. All right, I'll do it. CG Ramens. Yes, Captain Marvel here. What is up, Shinbu? All right, so let's go back. Let's go way back to the other one and take a look. Oh, the other thing that's really cool about using the Sculptress Pro is that you can like grab the snake hook and just do like some wild stuff, you know what I mean? Like I can get some strands of hair that, you know, I wouldn't be able to do before. Now it probably makes more sense for me just to kind of drag these out with a hair tube, but it's pretty sweet being able to add those, or, you know, if I don't like them, go in and just delete them. Oh, what? Where'd they go? I just deleted them. It's gone. I erased them. So I dig that. you know, let's say I wanted to, I'm looking at my storm ref, you know, let's say I wanted to have this front be, like do something like this, you know, I could totally do that. This is how I did the Venom. This is how I did the Venom teeth. That was all just dragging it out and smoothing it. It's all just a ball, you guys. If you haven't played with this, it's an old feature. It's the last version, but it's dope. A lot of people don't mess with it. And you should. That's all. Alright, so let's take this now into ZBrush. Not ZBrush, but my main tool. Where is my main tool? Brush. Where are my tools? That's weird. Why are they not over here? Okay. Alright, I'm going to call this New Hair. And copy and go back to this one. This is the old one. Wow, what a difference a day makes, right? We used to think this piece of garbage was good. Not anymore. It sucks. Alright, so let's delete it. Not that. Let's delete. Let's delete it. Okay, here's the new one. Let's turn off solo. Okay. And then if I look at this and say, alright, you know, I don't love the little wispy wisps that I put on the front here. I can just go in, and because I still have my subtool, or my poly Sculptors Plus on, I can just erase them. I can just go in and just kind of, just like I'm drawing, I can erase them right on out of there. Okay, maybe I want it to look more like that. And then if I turn it off and I smooth, well, because the geometry is wonky right now, it's not going to smooth nicely. But what I can do is I can take my inflate brush and hold down the Alt or Option on a Mac and shrink these areas, right? And then just kind of get them looking a little better. Okay, so that's kind of that. All right, let's see. Hey, what's up, Pro? Let's see. It's always funny to see great artists trash talking their own work. Yeah, well, I got a lot of trash to talk about my own stuff. Alright, so this hair is better, right? It's starting to look more like hair, less like soft serve. And now I can go and now it's, you know, the topology now is not exactly what I'd want, but I can start moving it around a little bit. Just kind of make sure it's keeping that organic flow. I wanted to do a S type of a action. Alright, so just move the base one side and the top the other way. And I start to get something that I like. Okay, now one thing you can tell is her, I didn't touch her hands yet. Her hands are not touched. The way that I sculpted the hair, just so you guys know, is the same way that I sculpted her sash down here. This is all the same exact tools, same methods, all that, right? And when I wanted to do twists and stuff on her, the pieces that are flying off, I just selected it and used the gizmo and turned it, right, to get that look. So that's pretty dope. One other thing you can do if you really want to have it looking like fabric is, like, if I solo this out and turn down the subdivision levels, you can see I keep it really low, right? I like that. So let's say I want to get this area, let's say I want to kind of make it do, how do I describe this? I want it to do a harsh fold, right? So if you can see this kind of a thing, right? What I can do, it's a terrible explanation. What I can do is I can grab my pen and, oops, come on dude, what are you doing? Grab my pen, mask pen, right? That's what I have. Okay, make it a little smaller. I can grab, like, mask out an area here. Okay, turn down the resolution a little bit. Maybe invert the selection. Okay, I only want an edge. Just trying to make an edge. So if I grab it like this, what I can do is I can take my gizmo, okay, and I can do a little kind of a fold deal. Actually, since this is kind of flat, I can pull it out, kind of push it up like this, and maybe do a little bit of a twist like that, and let's bring it in a little bit like that. Okay, so now it's hard to tell what I did right there, but if I smooth a little bit, let's bring up the resolution. Let's do a little bit of a smooth and release. What it's supposed to do is give you that deep cut. Now if I had really pulled it up, it would have been a little more noticeable, but what it's done now is I can go in with my standard, turn on my lazy radius, turn up my lazy radius rather, and just kind of do this kind of a deal. And most of the work has been done for me, right? Now I have a fold there. That if I want to, I can go and I can just kind of move it to where I want, make sure I have it on her hip. And, you know, turn it down. If I turn on my polyframe, I can see what's going on. So it looks like this needs to come up a little bit. But you can see, you can get some real convincing folds without having to use an external program, if you want, or you can just go into Marvelous and do it. It's whatever you may feel, whatever makes you feel good. All right, let's see. Grab this. You guys are still talking about the new joint. Cool. Alright, so what I want to do now is start to define her, I want to fix the problem areas in the anatomy so I can move on to her outfit and start getting the outfit right. First, if I look at my sketch, I did the boots kind of wrong. Right, I want these tips of her boots to be in the front, and I have them on the sides right now, so that's not what I want. So I think what I'll do is I will just make a I'll just make a tube, right, a cylinder with the Z modeler. Let's see, let's go down her boots, solo them. I will duplicate and turn this into a cylinder. See the orientation. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so this is a cylinder. I'm going to turn off everything except for the boot and this part. Okay. And if I turn on polyframe, you can see that the cylinder is selected right now. So I'm going to use my gizmo and just going to make another piece for this boot. And it's okay, really, because this is going to be a different material. So it's all right if it doesn't exactly match. But it'll be close. Right, I just want to kind of line this thing up a little bit. Like so. And now I want to get rid of the caps, the top and the bottom. Okay, I'll just select them and invert, and you see they're hidden now, right? It's hidden. I'll just delete hidden. Okay, turn off solo so you can see the boot, and then I can kind of shape it into the shape of the leg. First, let's move it down a little bit. I use ZModeler to make almost everything. If I'm not using, you know, a base mesh of the person to save time, I'll make something with ZModeler. Oh, the baby's going off next door. It's alright, it's a baby. Can't control babies. Alright, so now what I can do is I can give this some thickness, right? Because right now it's only a single-sided face. So I'm just going to flip it, go to my ZModeler, hold down space. If I hover over poly and go to QMesh, poly group all, and let's give this some thickness, right? I'll give it a lot of thickness, like this much. Okay, that's not bad. So if I add a edge here, and just to hold it for now, I'll add an edge here, and then I'll turn on dynamic, you can see that it's starting to do what I want it to do. Okay. So I just want this to feel like a cuff going around the top of the boot. And what I'll do is now I can cut it. I can cut it so that it has that tip where I want it to be. Right. So if I turn on everything again, let's turn on everything. Turn off this. Let's turn off this and the explosion. I don't want that either. And I don't want. Where's that other girl? Don't want you. Don't want you, right? Yeah, I don't want you. Okay. I've kept a lot of versions of her. But now I can see that this piece isn't covering her thigh, so let's fix that. I like these kind of boots. This is almost like a rogue type of a boot. And she doesn't always have these. In the movie, it's a different type of boot. It's more like the Captain America boot. Everything in the MCU has pretty much the same boot. It's Marvel Cinematic Universe if you're not a nerd. Alright, so get it close. Pull out the back. Oh, she got some thick legs here. Okay. So for now, that is okay, and I can get the shape in a little while. But what I can do now is I can take that one, I can duplicate it and kind of muscle it into position on the other side. So let's duplicate and mirror. That's another thing I'm looking forward to, being able to mirror, and it doesn't matter if it's on the left or the right, because I always forget which side is supposed to be which. Oh, I got it right that time. Usually I'm wrong. Alright, so now let's kind of get this into position on the other side. And I can see that these these thighs are not the same size. One of these thighs is different from the other one. Nobody's gonna know. Don't tell anyone. Oh, maybe it wasn't that big a difference either anyway. Yeah, I think it was just in the wrong position. They're not as far off as I thought. Man, she quieted that baby down. Usually that lasts for a long time. Alright, so don't worry about the fact that the bottoms of these aren't connected to the tops of the boots. Doesn't matter yet, it's okay. All we want is for it to kind of look like my sketch, and that does. Okay, so the other thing I can do now is I can go in and start to lay in some of my piping to determine her suit. Thick thighs say truer words is never spoken, my brother. You are correct. Alright, how do I make the raised line around her helmet? I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it right now. Alright, this is how I do my uniforms. So now I'll click back on her suit. So if I solo it, you can see. Oh, look at those legs. Oh my god, she skipped leg day like a mug. I don't care what this looks like underneath the boot, so it is what it is. What is this? Do I have two sets of boots on? What is this one? This is that her original leg? What is this? Yeah, that's her original leg. You know what? Let's just get rid of that Geo. I don't need it. So it's going to tell me, because I have subdivision levels. Do I have subdivision levels? Yeah, it's going to tell me that it can't delete it. So what I'll do is I will clone this. Okay, now it's on another subtool by itself. I'll duplicate. I will delete the one of them at the. I'll delete the higher sub-D levels on one of these, right? This one, I'll delete higher. Okay, I'll go to the other one and I will raise up the subdivisions and delete the lower sub-D levels, right? Delete lower. Okay, so now this is high, this is low. Okay, so now that I've done that, what I can do is I can delete the hidden, these little baby legs. Right, let's delete those from the low, and I will go into the high. See, baby legs, regular legs. I'll delete the high, hidden from the high as well, right? Delete hidden. All right, so now because I don't have sub-D levels, I can subdivide this. The problem is it's going to start to get real soft, right? I lose all my details. So that is 236,000 polys. This is 14, so let's divide a couple more times. Okay, all right, so it's 4 subdivision levels, gets me to the top. If this doesn't make sense to you, let me know and I'll explain a little better. But you see how soft it is? I lost all of my detail. I can project it back. So I'm gonna go back down to a lower subd level and project, okay, and then go up one more, project, go up one more, project. Okay, and now I should have the same thing as the other one, which I do, and now I have subdivision level, so I can step down and make changes to the major forms and I don't have any problems. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good to go. So now I can copy this. I'll call this bodysuit. I'm so excited about getting the base for this Cintiq, you guys. I love the Cintiq. It's the best thing ever, but it takes up so much space on my desk, and I have it jacked up on the CD spools, like these things in the back, with some Stephen King books. So it's a real ghetto hookup right now. I'm looking forward to getting the base. All right, so I'm gonna copy this, go back to here, take my old suit and delete, paste in my new suit. Okay, and if I step up, back in business, and I don't have little baby legs. All right, so that's that. Let's save. I don't even think I've saved it all today. Let's save. Make sure you save it in the right place. I have 50 million copies of things that are all in the wrong place. That's not good. How am I doing on time? 1:38. 12. 1, 2, 3. I'm done at 3. Okay, I'm doing all right on time. All right, let's see what we got cooking here. Why'd you erase my leg? Nice. That's what's up, Crying Wolf. Thank you. The bum 10 out of 10. Professor Bum, approval of the bum. All right. Cool. All right. So now I'm going to show you how I did the piping on her mascle area. Okay. Because I want to have that on her suit as well. So let's go. This is good because it doesn't matter if I change the geometry so much on her, or the sculpt rather, on her arms, because her arms need work. But what I can do now is I have her suit, right? I can go and freeze the subdivision levels. Okay, so first let's go to, I did save it. I just want to make sure everything is everything. I did save. I'm going to go to geometry. The reason I'm going to freeze this is because you cannot add curved tubes and curved straps to things that have subdivision levels. So I will just hit freeze and it should take it down to the lower subd level, which it did, right? Normally I wouldn't do this because I never freeze, but this time I did. Alright, so there's my suit. Okay, and I'm going to hide everything but my suit. And I'm going to go to my, what is up, Sean? Hey, good to have you here, man. Alright, I'm going to go to my curve strap snap, which I use all the time. Now, one thing I do need to do is go to my stroke, and I'm going to change the steps between the strap, because if I drag it out right now, see how tight that is? I'm going to have to go in and delete like 60% of these lines here, these little segments. I don't want that many segments. So I'll go to my curve, and the curve step is 0.5. I'm going to move that up to like 2. Now you see the spacing? Much more manageable. Okay, so what I can do is I can go in and I can start to determine where I want my piping. Okay, I want something like this. And I want it to kind of wrap around her leg. So I would probably, let's see if I can drag this without messing it up. Okay, I need that to go over her chest, so I don't want to do that. Alright, let's just do this. Alright, I'm going to come down to about here. Alright, let's do it again. Maybe about here. Okay, I like that. It's keeping that form, which is pretty sweet. Now if I come to here, I can continue it. Okay, and even though it's kind of penetrating the mesh, it's okay. It's not bad at all. Okay, I want one there. I want one here. Okay, and I want this to cut in around her leg. The thing about these suits that I like is making them engineered. So instead of with the jean, you have you have the two pieces of material coming together on the side and it's straight all the way down the leg, right? If you want it to look more heroic, you want it to follow the forms of the body. I used to be in the fashion industry for a while. So if you do an irregular cut where it cuts around the thigh like at an angle and kind of hugs the shape of your leg muscle, show you my guy. Alright, so if you follow the shape of this muscle here, it just kind of, the pants automatically are going to conform and feel more like a suit and less like a pant. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, so that's that. I have a cut there, I have a cut there. Let's look at my reference. How does it go on the side? I have one coming around the back as well, which picks up. It's on the side of her, actually. Let's put it under her arm. Okay. And then this too is like, this is also gonna kind of accentuate her form a little bit. She's a superhero, so don't get me on that Me Too stuff. I'm just trying to make her look heroic, you guys. She can't help that she's built this way. Okay. All right. So that is that. Let's actually bring this up a little bit. I do want to have, well, I can't do that one because I let go of it already. Alright, that's okay. That is okay because I can just draw another one here. Okay. Alright, cool. So this is my piping. Now I'm going to have a piece that cuts up and around her shoulders like in the picture. I also want to build her neck piece right now, so I can do that. Yeah, I got the thumbs up from Professor Bump. Black Panther, thank you. Right, so now I like all these things, right? If I click on it, they are all, that's all geometry that's there. What'll happen now is if I hide everything except for the body, right, I can split the hidden. So if I go like this, there's all my piping, right? This is how I do all of my superhero stuff. So what I can do now is I go to my tool and trap jaw, and whenever I'm doing a character, this is how I do it. So I go to subtool and I go back to the body because it's called bodysuit, right? If I split hidden, you got to be careful. Make sure what I did when I made my UI is I put split hidden and delete hidden on the UI apart from each other, because in here they're right next to each other and I always accidentally hit delete. So be careful. I'll hit split. Now if I go down, there's my piping, right? So all I'm concerned with at this point is one side of these faces. So if I go in now, let's see if I can poly group by normal. Let's try something. Group by normal. Excellent. Okay, so what that just did, okay, if you didn't pay attention, I'll undo it. Right now, each one of these straps is its own poly group, right? Let me move it so you can see. Move it over here. All I'm concerned with is the inside of each of these straps. I don't care about the edges. I don't care about the front face, only the inside face. So if I go to group by normal, that's going to separate the front from the back, from the side, from the other side, from the edge, right? See how I did that? So now what I can do is I can go in and I can selectively grab the inside of each of these faces. Now I got to be careful. So I want purple. I don't want blue. All right, purple. It's cool, right? That's the inside of that face. I want green. Okay. Oh crap. So I'm holding down shift to make sure that I keep the things hidden that I want hidden and shown that I want shown, right? So now I know that the red is on the inside, so I want red, and I want this blue. All right, if this is confusing, I'll make it make sense in a minute. All right, so now if I switch and turn on double, you can see that I have all my inside faces. Okay, everything else I don't care about. I'm going to delete everything else. Delete hidden. All right, now if I take off solo, you can see that all those faces should be penetrating the mesh. Now they're not quite everywhere. So the good thing about this is I can go in and I can grab my move tool and I can push them in. I want them penetrating the mesh, because what's going to happen is I'm going to draw those faces out, and it's going to be watertight if I want to print this. I'm not going to have a gap between the piping and the body. Okay, so if you're into 3D printing, that's why I'm doing that. Just push them in like that, but they'll also conform to the shape of the body. So this is why I do it this way. Okay, come back and check the legs. Those appear to be pretty good. Let's hide that sash. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, hide that. Okay, and this might seem like a lot of work, but when I'm done, it's going to be super clean. That's all I care about, is making this thing like ridiculously clean. Okay. All right. So that's that. Okay, so now what I can do is I can solo it again, right? I can go to my Z modeler. Okay. I can grab one of the, let's turn off double so I know what the outside is, right? They're actually inside out right now. All right, so I'm going to want to flip these. Okay, now they should be facing the right way. They are. The front faces are on the front, back faces are on the back. So what I can do now is I can grab the Z modeler, hover over a face. I still have Q mesh polygroup selected, right? So it's only going to polygroup out this particular group. So if I turn on the mesh, let's turn on transparent so I can see what I'm doing. And if I pull this, it gives me my piping, right? Let's turn on transparent. Now I have my piping. And there's some areas that, you know, need to be tweaked a little bit, but it's going to be like just ridiculously clean. So that's good. Now, you might ask yourself, what about the other ones? Well, the other ones, all I have to do is just tap on them, and they do the same exact thing as what I did for the first one. Okay, and I could have grouped them all together and done this at one time, but I still want them to kind of be their own polygroup. So what I can do now is I can go to auto group, and they're their own thing. I could have done that by grouping them all together and then auto grouping before. What it does is every separate group or every separate piece of geo gets its own polygroup. So that's fine. All right. So there's my piping. I can go in now with my move tool. I can move some parts in, some parts out. Right? Let's say it's not quite out far enough in some places. Pull it out. Other places it might be out too far, you push it in. This is how I did the helmet. Okay. I don't want it to stick out past the boots, so in some of these areas I'll just push it down. Like so. Right? Now, you might be asking yourself, well, you have now these rectangles and it's supposed to look like ribbing, like what's on my jacket here. All right, because I haven't added any creasing or any edge loops, that's going to round out, right? But what it will do, it'll also draw down on the edges, so I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some edge loops to the ends of these, and I'll just go back to my Z modeler, hover over an edge, and it's already set to insert edge. If I just click and drag, what'll happen, now I'll show you what happens if I don't have it, right? I've just added an edge loop there. So if I go and do dynamic, turn on dynamic, see how these edges all round out and they all kind of shrink down a little bit? This edge stays nice and crisp and it stays exactly where I wanted it. That's because it has an edge loop. So if I turn off dynamic, let's look at this one. Alright, this is without it. That's with it. Crispy. Right? That's what I want. Same thing there. Same thing there. Okay. The bottoms are all kind of hidden in her boots, so it shouldn't really matter, but let's see what happens here. Okay. It's alright. Alright, so let's unfreeze her for a second. If I go back to my geo and I hit reconstruct subdivision levels or click off freeze subdivision, it should jump back up. Okay, and it's masked, but it doesn't matter. All right, now I'm looking at this. I don't love the way that this looks right now. All right, let's see. Is this going to be a zombie? Yes, it will be a zombie. It will be a Marvel zombie Captain Marvel, because I didn't want to do just a regular old Captain Marvel. But what I'll do is I'll do it on a layer so I have a regular one too. The music is Bad Snacks. You can find her on YouTube and Twitter and all that. Again, back from help suggesting the chat. What's up, OG? If you want good anatomy, I have on my Pinterest I have an anatomy board which I actually use to put together a lot of my stuff. It has everything: drawings, muscular sketches, photos, men, women, you know, every kind of build. It's extensive. I spent a lot of time on it. And if you don't see it on my page, there's a million other people that have the same type of boards. So check it out there. All right, so I'm looking at this now, and the piping on this feels thick, like it's thicker than I want, right? So I can fix that, right? If I solo it out and go to the piping. Let's turn off dynamic and take a look. Alright, so this is all thicker than I want. So one thing I can do here, which it's going to take a little bit of time, but not a lot, right? I'll just add some loops. Let's say I want it to be about that thick. Okay, on that one. Oops. That one, I'm just eyeballing it, right? But there, and there. All right. So now if I delete edges, what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of the outer edge, and it makes it more square than rectangular. All right. So it's just a quick workaround. Oops. I'm just grabbing the outer edges and deleting them. And I did it this way because it's easy for me to eyeball and see that these are all pretty uniform. Okay, so now if I turn on dynamic, they're more piping type shape. All right, which is okay. I still want them to be a little more square. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go into my crease. I will go to geometry, crease. I'm going to turn the crease level way down to like 1. Okay, and I'm going to go to these edges and see right now they're set to insert edge loop. If I press my space bar and go to crease, edge loop complete, then what it'll do is it will crease that edge all the way around, front and back, and I want it on both sides. All right, so now if I hit dynamic, see there's a little bit, see how that one's a little more sharp than the others are more rounded. That's what I want. Grissetti, yeah, Grissetti's the palm. 1 hour. Okay, that's what's up. Cool. Thanks, John. Watch Tato go to sleep. Go to sleep. Alright, let's turn on the poly group so I can see what I did. Okay, I missed an edge. It's alright. And I'll do that for these two. Crease, crease. Okay. Crease. Crease. Crease, crease. Okay, I think that's all of them. Turn on dynamic, they look more square. If I turn off solo, they're starting to feel a little more like what's on her helmet. Like that is way square, but now I can get that look if I want just by turning down the subdivision level to 1 on dynamic. It gets mad sharp, right? I don't want it that sharp. If I want it to look softer, because I only put in 1 level of crease, I can turn it up higher and it's smoother, which is fine by me. Alright, so now I can go in and just start kind of moving this until it looks uniform on her body. Right, and I'm going to adjust, like I'm just going to hit some of these areas until it looks a little better. Pull up some parts, push down other parts until it starts to look like it's engineered into the suit and not just a piece that's stuck on after the fact. How am I doing on time? 2 o'clock. 1 more hour, you guys. It's flying by this time. I'll be back in 2 years. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I should stream every day. I'd have like peace and quiet. How dope would that be? Because this resolution is still very low, I can move these pieces around and they stay nice and clean. Like if I had this subdivided up too high, they get real wobbly, like real wonky. I don't want that at all. I don't like that. Alright, so this is not the final stage of making the suit. This is just the beginning, actually. Because what I would do at this point, if I was 100% happy with the topology, is I would go and build up the edges around the front and the back of the crease to make it feel like it's sewn in. And I think I have examples of that. Tool. Dropbox. Yeah, I have examples of that on the Keyop. Is this it? Keyop. 12.5. Alright. So if you look at this guy, this is how I built up his suit. It started as the piping, and then I go in and I kind of raise an edge, and then I engineer in the sculpting of the wrinkles until you get something that looks good. So I have a lot of stuff turned off on him. It looks weird. But yeah, anyway, that's how I do it. Alright, let's see. Let's see. What's up, Jean Christoph? Got dabs though, looking good. Can't wait to see you clothed. Okay. Cool. Alright, thanks. Much time. Kept him on a couple hours. Sweet! Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoy sculpting the wrinkles. Can't wait to get to them on her. And the bones. Tear her up. Oh, where'd my bones go? They're there. Why can't I see them? What's going on with them? There they are. Alright. Let's go back to the piping. Oh, I see what's happening there. Alright, cool. So, let's keep it moving. And then in areas where there's like a really tight kind of a bend, the good thing is I can grab my mask lasso and select that area, and then I can just kind of independently move that down and then move the other part up until I match the bend. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get too deep into the suit yet because her body still needs a lot of work, but I just wanted to get those on there. So now I can go in and let's turn her sash back on. And let's start fixing some of those areas of the anatomy that are bugging me. Like her arms and hands. So if you guys don't know what I'm up to, this is kind of what I'm going to do. get my zombie on here. Take some parts out, make her look kind of gnarly, like Marvel Zombies. But in the meantime, I just want to go in and let's give her that neck collar first because it's looking, she has a real thin neck. I did that on purpose because it's going to be covered by a collar. I'm trying to decide, I don't like the segmented one, I like the one like this. So I will, I'm going to put that up kind of high because I do like this transition of her shoulders into her neck. I kind of like that. So let me make another, duplicate. I'm going to make another sphere, not sphere, sorry, another cylinder. If you're just joining me, I use the ZRemesher to make pretty much everything. So don't be hating on me. Let's move that around. Don't hate. Oops. Alright, I have symmetry turned on. Make sure you do not have symmetry turned on. So I just did this before, I'm going to do the same thing. Delete the caps. I'm going to flip it and I'm going to use the Z modeler to give it thickness. Like so. Now I do like the what I'm going to do right now is let's give it a little bit of the I'm going to give it a little bit of that dip in the middle here. So let's about there. Okay, I'm going to add a I'm going to add some geo here. So let's add a few. Insert a few edge loops. Okay, and what's going to happen now is this is going to give me, I think I want to do this. Okay, I know what I want to do. Bear with me for a second, I'm going to try something. Let's get rid of everything except for the outside for now. Delete hidden. Try to stitch this, this, and this, 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 this. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I want to try it. And then I'm going to delete this part. Delete hidden. Now I'm going to give it thickness. Oh no. The back! Is that covered by her hair? No, that was a mistake. Okay. Because I couldn't see the back, I accidentally deleted it. Alright, delete hidden. Flip. Thickness. Oops. Thickness. Let's see what this looks like. It might look whack, but let's take a look here. I'll also add a holding line here, and one at the bottom, and dynamic. Alright, so kind of there. Turn off dynamic. Let's drag this down a little bit. Yep, thank you. All right, another delivery. All right, cool. So let's see what this looks like for now. So I want to kind of center this up so I can rotate, get it where I want it. Okay, so that's kind of right. I'm just kind of moving it out now. So it doesn't really matter that these are two separate subtools, the collar and the neck, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put piping around the bottom and the top, and it's going to kind of fix our pinching problem. Actually, what I can do to fix that, let's see. All right, so before I do anything, let's do this. I'm going to turn off dynamic, right? I'm going to hide everything except for this, right? And then I'll frame it. Frame mesh. Okay. Now the problem with that is that the my brush size is too large. So let's frame it now. Second frame mesh. What I want to do is I want to add the strap by using the Z remesher. Okay, it's because the polygon count is so low, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to frame it like that, and then I'm going to grab my curved tube snap like I did before and click on it. See how it follows the topology? So that's fine. Alright, and it doesn't matter that it's not perfect. That's fine. So I'm going to split. I'm going to split unmasked, not split hidden. Okay, that'll just get rid of that frame there. Now I'll do the same thing on the bottom. Alright, twist it. It's twisting. Okay, close enough. And I'll split unmasked. Okay, now I'll delete my frame. And it's unhidden. And now if I go to solo, I have the piping for the top and the bottom. All right, it looks kind of wacky right now, but if I soften that, you can see it's the idea. Okay, it's a work in progress. So this piping is going to help me hide problems with the collar itself. So because my topology isn't set up for that V, to be perfect there, what's happening is it's giving me pinch. There's a pinch that's going on right there, right? Which I can fix, but it's not that deep really. If I just turn it up, there's a pinch there, I can soften it. But if I have a piece of piping there, it covers it, so I don't even have to worry about it at all. So that's that. It also hides the fact that the collar and the collar and her bodysuit aren't one piece of geo. So That is what time is it? 2:16. All right, doing pretty good on time. All right, so now if I solo this, I want these two pieces to be on their own layer. So merge down. Yes, it's okay. Okay, so now those two pieces are together. And then the layer below that is the bodysuit. No, that's the helmet. I want it to be with the bodysuit, so I'll move up. There's a bodysuit right there. All right, piping. And there's a suit. Okay. So now what I can do is I want there to be a V, not a U, on her neck. So let's see. Any other questions? What up, Mike? What up, Nave the Shade? I need to use ZBrush. Yeah, Zombie Miss Marvel, yes. And Zombie Captain Marvel, absolutely. Alright, so now if I turn on dynamic, close, no cigar, right? Other thing too, when you don't add any creasing or add any holding lines, see how thin it got? It's really thin. That I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I am going to first determine the V, which I can easily fix by going and alright, I want that V. I'll just slide these first. Alright, so if I go to my Z modeler, hover over an edge, I can insert now, right? I don't want to insert. What I want to do is I want there to be, well, I do want to insert. I'm going to insert one in the middle. Okay, I'm going to grab that one, use my gizmo, kind of line it up, and move it down. Okay, so that's going to kind of give me my V, establish that V a little bit. I'm going to fix these in a minute, but now I'm going to insert over here and one over here, like that. Okay, and I can delete this. Okay, a little more like a V. Grab this and this. W. Now if I pull up, starting to get to be more what I want. Okay, I'm going to pull up a little more. Okay. Kind of move these around a little bit until I get what I want. So closer. All right, I'm going to delete this and delete this because it looks like this got a little too thin at the bottom. I don't want that. I want to make sure everything stays uniform. Uniform. You see what I did there? All right, is that okay? Starting to look better. Okay. So now what I can do is I can add a holding line here, and I know for the people that are crease nuts, they're like, hey, why don't you just crease it? I could crease it too, doesn't matter. 6 on one hand, half dozen on the other. All right, so I got that. Okay, so now if I hit dynamic, boom, V, right? So that's cool. What I would like to do now is I want to have this edge hold, but I don't want it to be super sharp. So by inserting a loop instead of creasing, I can determine how sharp that edge is by how close this loop is to the other edge. All right, so if I have it way down here and I hit dynamic, see it's still soft, still kind of soft, right? So let's undo that. If I put it way up here, see how it's getting sharper, right? And if I, let's delete it, if I put it way close to the edge, now it's like really crisp. Okay, so I don't want that. I want it to be semi-crisp. Just put it in the front and back, one there, one there. Okay, now the dope thing about this, what I like to do sometimes too, is I will go and insert another loop here and then delete this one And then if I go and add some holding lines, I can get a nice kind of like bevel, like a soft bevel, right? Soft or as hard as I want it. And that's pretty sweet, because now if I turn on my collar, I can, you know, it looks like, this is how I did the Thanos armor for my Thanos. You might have seen it on ZBrush Central. I'm just kidding. It was on there for a minute though. All right, so that's cool. This the wrinkle, the pinching that I'm getting in the collar is not a problem actually, because I'm going to be sculpting wrinkles in anyway. All right, so what I can do at this point is I can come back over to, I don't have anything on the bottom. So you see how the bottom looks like a ribbon and the top actually looks like something? Let's fix that. Okay, come back over here. And holding line here, holding line here. I don't care about a bevel on this one because this piece is at the bottom, right? It's not decorative. And now if I hit on, turn on dynamic, we have something like that. Okay, it's getting better, getting better. Okay, so let's go back over here. Turn off dynamic. What I want to do now is okay, let me grab this piece here. I'm going to pull this up. Just pull this up and try to center it a little bit on where it's supposed to be. This whole thing is kind of off. That's okay. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That's going to grab the back too. I didn't mean to do that. The good thing about working on Geo this low is you can really just muscle it into position, and it doesn't matter. It's not going to get ugly. It's just super, super, super low. Brad low. Brad? Rob low. Rob low. Alright, cool. So that's alright. Turn on dynamic. That's looking better. Okay. You can see the parts where it doesn't line up. So if I go back and turn off dynamic and I just grab my move tool, make it nice and big, I can get these pieces kind of where they are supposed to be. Make sure they fit in the collar. And this is just my way of doing things. I'm sure that there are way more efficient ways of doing things. Like everything with ZBrush, there's 1,000 ways to do everything you do. So I'm sure there's somebody who's going to watch this on YouTube and be like, why is he doing it that way? It's just how I do it, man. All right. One thing about it though is keeping it as low poly as possible allows me to really just go in and be super precise with this. Like if I wanted to, I could go in now and let's say I don't like the fact that this loop right here is all kind of mangled up. What I can do at this point is I can grab my Z modeler, delete that loop altogether, and just add another one. And now it's straight all the way around. All right, so now let's turn it back on. Let's turn on dynamic. Okay, it's way in the neck. That's one of the things you got to be careful about when you're working with low poly, is that it looks right one way and not necessarily the other way. Let's pull it out. Geez, so pretty much everything I just did I shouldn't have done. It's okay. It's okay, we'll fix it. 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 It's okay, we' So that's your collar, right? Now what we're going to do, I just want to make sure that's centered. It's important because what I'm going to do now is turn off dynamic. Okay, I'm going to solo this. I'm going to add some loops here. All right, add a loop here. And okay, hold on a second. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Check it out. That split is not doing me any service. So I'm going to delete this hidden. Delete hidden. I'm just going to sew these 2 points together. Right, stitch and stitch. Okay. And then kind of center that back up again. All right. Now what that's going to allow me to do while I'm doing this, let's just clean this part up here. Okay, so what that is going to allow me to do is I can go in and add my thickness to it again. Okay, the Z modeler, I'll just Q-mesh it out. Okay, I can add that holding line back and see how this looks with dynamic turned on. Okay, so a little better. This part here clearly needs to be moved out. Oops, why is it doing that? Okay, move it out a little bit. And it's okay that that collar part is visible. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a seam. Right, this was all in the service of getting a seam in here. So to clean this all up, I do this a lot, insert edges and then delete edges, right? But I just inserted that. I'm going to add a couple of lines here. Okay, that's the center. It's close, but not where I want it. So I'm going to, let's see if I turn on dynamic, is it where I want it? Close, but no. So let's rotate this a little bit. I'll just grab this, and I'll just looks wonky now, don't worry about it. It's going to get better. But if I rotate this around a little bit, I'm going to put a seam in here. Solo. Turn off dynamic. Alright. Okay. So now what I can do is I can grab the Z modeler and polygroup, polygroup, single poly, 1, 2, 3, okay, and then I can go and Q-mesh and push this part in, and now I have my seam there, okay, and I want to hold those lines, so what I'm going to do now is insert a couple of edges. See what that looks like. This is how I get some really clean, like zippers and things like that. Right. So if I turn off polygroup, all right, there is the seam, and it's pretty wide. Right. I don't think I want it that wide. So what I can do is I can slide it, make it a little thinner. Solo. Let's just these and then slide the loop. Actually, all I have to do is just add another loop. One here and one here. And I can delete this and this, and now I kind of have a, oops, not that one, this one. Now I have a bevel, right? Which is not bad. All right, now if I turn on dynamic, let's use crease. I want this to be sharp. So I'm going to crease this inside. Crease, crease, oops, crease, dynamic. Okay. And let's crease the outside too. The heck. Crease and crease. Okay. Now this top part doesn't have, you see there's no crease there, so that's why it's getting kind of wacky. Top and the bottom. That does now. Okay, dynamic. Solo. Alright, oops. What'd I do? Crap. Okay. What's up, everybody? Hello, everybody. Hey, Dr. Nick. Okay, so that is kind of what I'm looking to do. If I push this back a little bit, push this down, it's hidden so you don't see it anyway. And again, the point of having the piping there. Okay. So then I just line up the, make sure it fits where it's supposed to go. And the reason why I don't care about this being like really hard surfacey is because I'm going to make it look like fabric anyway. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be some wrinkles to this collar at the top. So it's really kind of okay. But now I have a crispy seam on it. I've got piping on it. And I can, you know, I can go in and worry about the rest of the suit. As I look at this, I'm thinking that the piping on the neck is too sharp. So I'll go in and address that, you know, make it a little softer. How am I doing on time? 2:34. I still got half an hour. All right. So that's the neck. Let's do we kind of have the hair. Let's get back on the hands. Let's get back on the hands. I'm also going to have these straps that go down here around her arm because that's pretty cool. But let's get on her arms, her hands now. Let's turn on this base. The base is very, this is kind of supposed to be something. I think a piece of some kind of a ship or something that she's maybe flying through and exploding. So with this smoke here, this is probably one of those areas where I would use the thanks Rico. This is probably one of the areas where I would get into using the Sculptress Pro. Right, the smoke is actually a really good place to use that. So if I use something like let's see what noise does. Turn on noise. Let's just see what that does. Yeah, that's actually cool. But before I do that, let's use the clay spin. It just is too uniform. Everything is too uniform right now. I don't like it. That's a good idea. Saving? I didn't even think of that. I don't think I've saved in an hour. So maybe let's do that, okay? Save as. Yes, save. Alright. Yeah, this smoke has been bothering me for a while. Explosion or whatever. Let's turn up the intensity on this. I don't have to press so hard. Explosion already. I was very bummed out with these spheres on the bottom of this. Music still playing? Yeah, that's cool. Now remember, I don't have the back face mask turned on, so you run into issues when you get towards the little pointier points. And this is one of those things where I need to, what's up, Knave the Shade? Silver Surfer, right, you're correct. Music, again, is Bad Snacks. She's on YouTube and Twitter and all that. She's like dope. Very cool DJ. So this is one of those instances where I can grab the snake hook and do some really cool kind of like draw outs. Make sure I do it at a good angle. Figuring out a good angle is the thing. Let's see something. Was I using the clay spin? Hey guys, bear with me for 1 second. Let me grab this package. I am in an apartment, and I don't know if people are gonna like snatch my stuff, but hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I got my Wacom stand. It is as big as a couch, but it's very cool. All right, video camera back on. All right. Nice, thank you. I'm glad it helps. It's why I'm here, you guys. that, and I am very bored. I'm gonna get a cat. I was trying to get my daughter's cat. She didn't want to give it to me, so I'm gonna have to get my own cat. My little girl turned 18 this week. I cannot believe it. 18. I have pictures of her as a baby. So. Thank you. Yeah. Get the best kids, man. She's a good kid. My son as well. This is what I like about the Sculptris Pro 2 is when you get some of those areas that would be problematic with the geo kind of just pinching in on each other, like these balls where I kind of Dynamesh them together. You can just smooth it out. Pretty sweet. So this is all blocking, right? But it's starting to look a little more like an explosion and less like bubbles, I think. Obviously I'd spend more time on it. But for now, better. I like how you can just kind of erase down pieces that you don't like. It's pretty sweet. Alright, so I was thinking maybe because she's whizzing through this thing, there's like a part, let's see. So maybe there's like a part that comes up from her knee or something. I don't know. Maybe. Could happen. All right. Not sure if this wing thing is gonna last much longer. I have no idea what it is. The only purpose of this thing really was to keep her from falling forward. It's like if I print this, I don't want to have the same issue I had with the princess where she's just super front heavy. But I don't know what this thing is going to be. Full disclosure, I have no idea. Some kind of a piece of a ship. Alright, so that is okay for now. Okay. That explosion makes me feel better. Let's see. Turn on transparent. How come the skull keeps disappearing? What happened to her skull? It's there. There it is. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna go full zombie on her at some point. But in the meantime, in my last 15 minutes, let's kind of address some of these anatomy problems. Her arms and hands and such. I don't like them. Let's see. Hey, thanks for the birthday wishes for my little girl, you guys. Sorry, big girl. Young woman. Thanks, Jared. Which brush is that? Which brush are we talking about? The one I was doing the explosions with? Because that was just the clay spin. And if you go to your extended brushes and look under clay, that's where it's located. It's in with the clay. I moved mine out, but it's in here, right? So that's how you find that. And that's what I am going to be using for the body as well. I use that for my muscles. I really like it a lot. What's up, Ramazan? Now she is going to have some type of hard surfacey stuff on her shoulders, but I would like for her her anatomy to be tight. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't have to be perfect, but it helps if things are where they should be. And I'm by no means an anatomy master. It's one of those things that I'm learning every day like everybody else, but I'm putting in more time, so you know, it definitely shows the more time you spend. I meant to show you guys and I lost it again. I found that really crappy first Hulk that I did. I think I was talking about it in my last stream. And I really wanted to show you guys how far that, you know, I've come in the time that I've been using ZBrush. Because I know for somebody like me, it would have really helped to see. Okay, it looks like the thing just shot across. It helps to see, you know, where you start, because it gives you a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? Like if I put in this much work, this many hours, that I can progress. So I promise next time I'll show you just how terrible I was. This is one of those things that I just noodle back and forth until I get something that doesn't look offensive, and then I keep it moving. Got about another 7 minutes, so if you guys have any questions you want to ask about anything, it can be sculpting, it could be illustration, it could be when am I streaming on my own site. Floor is open. Feel free to ask. Be happy to answer you guys. I like using this the clay spin brush because I can kind of just sketch in the forms, you know, as somebody who comes from a 2D background. That's really why I like ZBrush, you know what I mean? Like, I can draw a sculpture. If I had to model this thing in something like Max or Maya, there's no way. There's no way I could do it. The other thing too is I approach these sculptures the same way I do my illustrations, and block in the big forms, and then just keep working it until I get to the smaller and smaller forms, and that's what I'm most successful at. One trap that I fell into when I first started sculpting was I would work an area, like say her arm, work it all the way to completion, and then go back to the rest of the sculpt, and I just ran out of gas, you know what I mean? Like, I would have one part that looked great and then the rest of it would suck, and I would wonder why I couldn't get motivated. And that's just because it's easier to see the big picture when everything is kind of at a similar state of finish. So, my opinion anyway. Let's see if I missed anything. Explosions, things. Can we see your cloth curve brush book? Yes. Need to wear gloves? Yes. Wear a glove? Yes. Check. How long have you been using ZBrush? Got 5 minutes. I've been using ZBrush for about, what did I say? 5-6 years, something like that. I know, right? Windar stream reminded said rarely, but you know what? I'm in an apartment. I rarely get to see my kids, so I should be doing a lot more now. I will be streaming more. I have no excuse. Next stream on Pixelogic is 2 weeks from now. I'm usually every 2 weeks. And I stream on my own site on, it says it at the top, Twitch TV Mike2K. All right. Any bad habits to avoid when progressing? I don't know about progressing. I don't even know what you mean by that. Please explain. Oh, let me get into that cloth brush real quick. All right, so I have a few. One that I like is this one that I have called the Happy Trails brush. Something me and my boy Brad. I give a shout out to Brad every time I do a stream. Brad is like, you know how Chappelle had his writing partner Neil? Brad is like my Neil. Alright, so I have this one. Let's see if I can, do I have higher sub-D levels? I'll just save it and then divide it real quick. Save as. Save. While I'm doing this, does anybody know if, usually Ashley's on the same day I am. Is anybody on right after me? Because if not, I'll go like a minute or two long. That brush is mine, the Happy Trails brush. I'll be offering that with some other brushes soon, but right now I don't have it anywhere. All right, so you can see, like, right, I can just kind of do this deal and then smooth it. I mean, boom, you know, wrinkles done. That's one. Benefit of wearing a glove is I use a 32-inch Cintiq. I don't know if you guys can see this. And it keeps your hand from getting sweaty and sticking to the screen or dragging on the screen. Right, so I use it for that. Plus the screen gets kind of warm. So that's that brush. All right, just quickly, let me do another one. I have one that's a little more pinched. It's a Happy Trails pinch. and that just has more of a sharp edge, right, to the top of it. Okay, so you can get that kind of a look. And what else? I have some other ones. Move. Let's see. 2 minutes, y'all. Let's see, brush. Anybody know if anybody's on right after me? Let me know. All right, mic cloth brushes. Okay, so I have these VDMs that I made. Okay, so if you look at them, they're already made, right? Like that. And I can switch. If I have one that's next to a seam, I can do something like that. Okay. Saves a lot of time. There's that one. Oops, M. Let's see. Where's another one? What's this one? M. Okay, this one has. I'm going to be doing this for her logo, but I had like for I'm doing the G-Force characters, so like if I wanted to do the G-Force logo, I could just kind of drag it there, right? And I would have the logo. I could put that wherever I want. That. Oh, till 8 o'clock? All right, cool. Kyle, if any of you Pixel guys are in here, or Kingsley, can I run like a couple minutes long? Is that all right? Let me know. They're coming. I'm gonna put them on Gumroad. I don't have them yet, but in addition to those, I have stitch brushes, all kinds of stitches. So if I go back to here, mic. Seam brushes. These aren't mine. Mine are. Where's mine? I have a lot of brushes that I've collected from people over the years, but I also have my own somewhere. Stitches. Oh, here it is. Master. All right, so I have. These brushes, and like I said, I was in the fashion industry for like 10 years, so I made like double chains, zigzag stitches. There's one that has a seam on it, so if I drag it out, I have subdivision levels. Let's just grab this and then do it. Right? It's not connecting right now because the spacing is off, but let's grab another one. This zigzag brush. Right, so I can do a zigzag stitch, and if I make it smaller, it looks more. All right, it starts to look better, right? So zigzag, chain stitch, right? So this saves a lot of problems with topology. I don't have to subdivide a billion times to get the right level of topology to hold this type of detail. And also I can move it around, right? So once it's done, if I need to move it, I can just kind of get it where I want. It's pretty sweet. So I'm going to put all this stuff in a pack, and probably I was just going to put the stitches in one thing and the folds in another thing, and then maybe I'll make a master pack that has them all. So that's it. Anyway, let's see what I miss. A5 is good. A whole lot of. Look how big this box is. You see that box in the background? That's just the base for. It looks small back there. Take my word, it's huge. That's just the base for this 32, so I can't wait to get this hooked up. But that is, okay, I went a couple minutes over. Looks like she's wearing suspenders now. So, yeah, y'all. Let me know if you dig the stream. Please give me a follow on Twitch. and I'll start. I promise I'll start streaming on my own as in addition to this. I'm usually pretty wound up after I have the ZBrush stream, so I keep sculpting into the evening. So maybe I'll go on tonight. All right, but that's it for the day. I hope you guys dug it. All right, and I will check you out next time. Okay? All right, see you guys. Peace.